Okay, hello, welcome to Portal Stormer. I am having a bit of a tantrum because my stupid computer is flickering when I'm recording, and also my GoPro is being a little prick. So I am going to be doing a reading on using the Deviant Moon Tarot. This is the big thick book I got with the deck. It's incredible. The artwork is actually done by Patrick Valenza, and I'll just read the back of the book here, the blurb a little bit here. Talented artist Patrick Valenza presents evocative tarot images inspired by his childhood dreams and visions. This richly illustrated book takes you behind the moonlit scenes of Deviant Moon to glimpse the creative inspiration and artistic process that gave rise to this extraordinary tarot deck. So he uses his unique tarot interpretations, really going deep into psychology. I'll just give you an idea of some of the beautiful artwork. Although some people find them very frightening because that's through his lens, but it's not like life is, a big birthday cake. It's good, bad and ugly, but there's some of the images there, but I'm going to share them with you as I do this reading. I'm just going to do a 3 card, and I'm doing a you tell me kind of reading. Sometimes I don't like to force the issue because I feel like, oh, that one looked at me, the High Priestess. I'll just show you the High Priestess in his deck. I often feel an affiliation with the High Priestess, and it comes out a lot in the readings I see online. So what I'm going to do is just concentrate, got my feet uncrossed. It's a paranoid thing of mine to make sure the energy keeps flowing and things keep looking at me. Sometimes you can get a bit anal when you're doing readings and everything means something. I'm just doing a basic shuffle, and I'm thinking about just linking in with the universe, just doing a nice little conduit here to say, you tell me what's coming for me or whatever you think I need to know, and maybe there'll be something in here for whoever's watching this reading. I'm not sure. I always like to fan the cards out so that they can reveal themselves to me, the ones I'm supposed to look at. So that's the first one, that's the second one, and that's the third one. Alright, so the first card I got, I will read it reversed, even though I don't usually, but he does have reversed meanings in his book. So it was the Queen of Swords. Now usually when I do a 3-card reading, the first card is what brought me to here or my past. That is definitely me, and I'll explain that more when I read the reading. But and this is the Nine of Pentacles. That's a very interesting representation of the Nine of Pentacles. So that's where I am now. And maybe it's where you are too, I'm not sure. This is the outcome, Knight of Swords. The funny thing with tarot is when you get the same cards over and over, it's not so much boring, but it's like, number one, it must mean something if it's the same cards all the time. And I did already talk about the time I had the death card come out like 7 times in a week, and then we had deaths and a miscarriage and all kinds of things. But the first one I'm going to read is the Queen of Swords. Now that did come out reversed. So I'm going to pick up this hefty book and look for the Queen of Swords. And I'm not sure if they, you know how different books will have it set up in different ways, and his goes backwards. So let's have a look. Queen of Swords. Now, I know he didn't put in the colour picture for her. Interesting. Anyway, what he's done in the book is he's put his initial sketch for the Queen of Swords, and I'm just going to read, rather than, he's got a whole blurb here, but I'm just going to read both the upright meaning and the reversed meaning. So, when the despondent Queen of Swords wanders into your reading, she is merely looking for another place to hide from the sorrow that stalks her. Like her, your thoughts and emotions may be trapped in an endless pattern of negativity. That's how I was for a while there. Your subconscious seems haunted by worry, guilt, and regret. Though your pain may be real, understand that you suffer by choice. That's interesting. Let go of your anguish. The Queen burdens herself with two swords, yet she can easily drop them to the ground at any time. You can do the same too. Decide at once to rid yourself of the angst that shreds your heart to pieces. I've done that, and it's a good feeling. Realize that you can never run away from yourself. Oh my God, that's a big lesson for me. In order to find the tranquility you desire, you must courageously confront the persecutor dwelling inside of your own mind. The Queen of Swords may also represent someone who has experienced the loss of a loved one. This individual is unable to free herself from overwhelming grief and sadness. She is emotionally fragile and sheds infinite tears. She feels disconnected from life and often spends her days searching the dreary corners of her mind for the person she misses the most. Oh, that's a bit sad. But let's look at it reversed as well. When reversed, the Queen signifies someone who holds on to grief in a subconscious attempt to gain sympathy from others. That's not me. I don't like sympathy. Sympathy means people coming at you. This person exaggerates her misfortunes for dramatic effect and then thrives on the attention. Oh no. But I wonder if it's someone else. I don't know. Pain has become part of her identity. She plays the victim well, using life's burdens as props in a self-created tragedy. Well, I know for a fact that's not me, because that's the opposite of me. But, you know, maybe it's something to guard against. So let us now look at the Nine of Pentacles again. I know that's a bit of a grotesque image, but, you know, let's see what he says. The Nine of Pentacles. And I plan to use this deck more and more, but I really want to get used to it, because even though I know in general what the meanings are for each card in the Rider-Waite deck, I'm interested in the way that he is interpreting it. And oh, that's not the Nine of Pentacles, that's the Four of Pentacles. I'm so sorry. I've got an old tired brain, but that's not an excuse. Hang on. Four of Pentacles. I'm just going to show you the picture in the book. So, here's the Four of Pentacles. So, upright meaning. The Four of Pentacles illustrates the ugly consequence of putting material gain above all else. So that's in the position of where I am now. Like the miser portrayed in the card, your greed and selfishness may be steering you towards a future filled with regret. In the end, it will not matter how much money you have or how many things you possess. Your value will be ultimately measured by how much you have loved and how much you have been loved. Although there is nothing wrong with the pursuit of wealth, it is important to remember that you can never truly own anything in life, for the treasures you cling to today will one day belong to another. In addition, the Four of Pentacles could symbolize the fear of losing all that you worked hard for. I think that's more like it for me. It could also represent the apprehension one might feel when confronted by his own mortality or a sudden life-changing event. Now that didn't come out in reverse, so I'm not going to read that, but I do feel like with my channel I haven't been focusing on making money. I mean, I've got not many followers, and we'll see. I'm going to keep at it. So monetizing is a long time off, and my motivation when I'm putting videos out there, they're simply the things I'm interested in. And sometimes I do feel like I'm just spreading it out to nowhere, but I do occasionally get a like. And of course, you got your bastards who like to unlike, um, to dislike something, and it stuffs up the algorithms and all that. But I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to keep chugging along. But I do feel like they're definitely feeling like I'm doing a lot of hard work. I am putting a lot of work into the videos I'm putting out there, but I guess I just haven't found the right audience. I am trying to be more streamlined, but I don't want to be a one-trick pony either. Those sort of YouTube channels bore me. I mean, I know there's, you go to some channels and they're talking about the things you love, and that's what you love about them. But I'm still wiggling my way in, so I do feel like this, to a degree, can be depicting, maybe I'm not satisfied and I should be more gracious and grateful for what I have, because there's a lot of people out there doing it tough, living in war-torn countries, going through God knows what behind closed doors. So anyway, that's a good message. But the outcome, the Knight of Swords. And I do feel like the Knight of Swords has been coming up a lot, and I have been doing a lot of hard work, and I do feel like there's something coming in, but taking a long time, and that's how it's been feeling. I'm very grateful for everything and all that jazz, but I really do feel like that is indicative of what's happening. So much that I want to happen, and I'm just trying to figure out how to. And it's difficult when you're older. You've been through a lot, but when the paradigms change and the way we do things changes, you really got to pivot and stay with it and all that. But there's the picture from the book, the Knight of Swords. So it says, seize the initiative. The Knight of Swords symbolizes the daring confidence you will need in order for your dreams to succeed. Be quick and courageously chase after your destiny. An enormous opportunity lies before you. However, you must leave your comfort zone and aggressively pursue it. Proceed with absolute certainty in your abilities and do not falter. Be assertive and do what needs to be done, regardless of what others think or whom it may offend. Understand that your ambitions will only be realized by taking bold action in spite of your fear. Okay, well, that's a different kind of meaning. On the other hand, this card might indicate tactless behaviors, self-serving motives override your true purpose in life. You might be forcing your opinion on others and not taking their feelings into account. You may also be making a rash decision that can only result in trouble. I don't feel like that's totally, but I do feel about the seizing. I always thought that was like, I know it's action, but I always felt like it was like spinning your wheels and going nowhere, at least for me. When I've had the Knight of Swords, I've felt that, but I don't know how true I can be to myself. I've opened my heart. I've done a video about forgiveness. I really do feel like I'm on that level. I'm floating on that energy. So I feel like I'm being altruistic. I'm sharing stuff for free. I'm caring for people at home and at work. I don't know how much more I can care, because I did go through a dip there where it was like, I don't give a shit about anyone. Everyone else they can back off. But when you're going through trauma processing, things like complex post-traumatic stress disorder and ADHD and this and that and the other thing, it's like you want to be perfect in as much as perfect as you can be, what's expected, but I don't know. I think this is why I'm in a funk. I'm just circling the drain. Not circling the drain, that's so dramatic. Just stuck in a rut. I'm going to pull one more reading, one more card actually. And what I'm going to ask is, what's the way out? What's this big opportunity that's just there? I keep seeing that in tarot readings for the last couple of months, actually. Next week. Well, it never happens, and it's not like I'm blocking it. I'm very open and keeping my eyes peeled, and operating with love and acceptance and all that. Anyway, so I am asking the universe, okay, what's this big opportunity? What do I need to focus on in order to flip the switch? Or you tell me again. Yeah, what do I need to do? What am I doing wrong? Or is it just a matter of pacing myself until the time comes and then I'll know what to do? Anyway, I'm going to split. And what is the result? Oh my God, that's, I looked at that picture earlier. The Nine of Wands. Isn't that weird? That's kind of how I feel, but let's look at the actual picture in the book. Nine of Wands. I did read it properly. These pictures are just beautiful. But, Nine of Wands. All right. Then I always think, because the nines are endings and completion of a cycle, but also unconventional things. Anyway, the Nine of Wands encourages you to summon your inner strength and use it to find your way out of a complicated situation. Trying. I'm not happy at my job and I'm looking for other work, but I'm not going to jump out of the frying pan into the fire. Although success may seem out of reach, take heart knowing that you are extremely close to achieving all that you have struggled for. Keep climbing higher and maintain your momentum. Do not be afraid to step up to the challenges that lie ahead. The Nine of Wands recommends that you expand your awareness in order to recognize nearby opportunities. I've been getting that in a lot of online readings. You must also be willing to learn from your mistakes. I am. Do not let your setbacks get you down. Hold your head up and remember that failure always marks the path to success. In addition, the card may be a metaphor for the difficulties one might experience when trying to acquire a new set of skills. Perhaps you are finding it hard to make progress because you've hit a plateau during your quest for mastery. When things get tough, you must keep your determination blazing so that you can attain the breakthrough you desire. And that's true. That's something that is definitely true. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to do other readings. When I feel confident enough, I will open it up out there. I just find it difficult, the idea of doing readings for people who aren't physically in my presence, but then energy is energy. We'll do this again another time anyway. Take care of yourself.